What's guys, Bryce here, and we're back at it again for another video. And as you can see, we are not driving F1 cars in this video, but we actually are driving the F2 cars at Austria. We get a pretty good start past one guy on the right, and then we're on the left hand side here using all the track, and we go around the outside and going off track just a little bit there. But I really want to start off slow, jumping back into the F1 game, and I thought, why not drive the F2 cars before I jump into F1, just so I can get a feeling for the game, a little bit more of a slow pace, and then I can jump into the F1 cars. And also, I never really drove the F2 cars in any of the other games, so now's the perfect time to try them out, and they're actually pretty fun. And this is career mode, and we are at Austria, and we are actually third in the championship, so we really want to come in first if that's really possible. The F2 cars are really fun to drive though. I would say they're definitely a bit more heavy and they feel a lot more sluggish than the Formula 1 cars, but nonetheless I think they both offer great racing. They require different driving styles, I would say. I think the F2 car, you really need to focus on the exits and you need to be smooth going into the corners, and it's really just a F1 car but slower and less downforce. Austria, can't really tell. I don't think they really changed much in this year's game. I can't really see much change with any of the curbs or anything like that. I know in real life, turn 1, right after this corner here, the exit yellow sausage curb is a lot bigger and taller. It's really flat in the game, so it doesn't really do much to the car in the F1 2021 game. But we're in 5th place and going down to turn 2, really getting a good exit is really crucial here, and we don't have DRS just yet. I have not tried multiplayer on the new game, but I will be trying it soon and braking super hard for this next corner here. And I think there was a glitch or something because every time there was a yellow flag going into this sector. But behind the SMP racing car here, and I'm just trying to be as smooth as I possibly can, going into this corner, getting a late apex, and really just trying to make a move on him. Being patient, I feel like being patient is really crucial. And yeah, my plan really is to finish the F2 career and then go into the F1 career, and I feel like that will give me, I kind of want to avoid time trial as much as I can. Obviously, we'll go into it when I have to do hot laps and make videos about it, but I want to avoid it just because when I practice, I want to be able to race and train in the same conditions that the league races will be in. So I'm going through the F2 season pretty quickly. I should be able to knock it out within like 3 days, which I'm going to be doing because only 12 rounds. And then I'll be moving on to F1, and then there I really want to try to stick with the career mode, and then I can get a feel for the cars, and then slowly go into some social races with online players, just so I'm not jumping right into social races when I'm not that quick yet. And I want to get back to pace that I was last year. Last year the pace was pretty good. Really my main issue was just strategy and consistency, in terms of consistency with practicing, and speed was also a bit of an issue. I thought my consistency was good, just needed a little bit more speed. As we look down the inside here, we don't make the move, but he closes the door quite quickly. I am running triples, as I mentioned in the last video, and it definitely looks really good with triples. Just wish it had support for triples because the resolution is stretched. We get DRS this lap, but again, we're holding back a little bit. Going over this first curb here, it might just be because of the F2 cars, but that first curb does feel a little bit taller, and it looks like it does upset the car a little bit more. It might just be me though. Going down to this corner here, braking at the 100 meter board, definitely here, it could just be the F2 car, but the traction there is a lot better. I remember last year you had very minimal traction coming out that corner, but again, I'm not sure because I haven't drove this track with the F1 cars. And still behind the SMP racing car, and we should be able to get past them pretty soon. Towards the end of the lap, trying to use the curb on the inside and the outside. We didn't do that too well, focusing on getting a good exit, and we're really close across the line, get the DRS, and we're going to make a solid move here and move up into P4, braking super hard to turn 1. He's still there on the outside. We cut a lot of curb on the inside just to give room, but we get the move done and we get the DRS. So now moving on to the next car in front of us, and we're P4, and we need to catch Jack Aiken, I believe is the name. And getting a good exit out of here. Oversteer is very prone coming out that corner. DRS once more. He does not have DRS. With the setups in this game, I think setups have been a really big issue for me in the past. Just trying to find the right setup. And that can always be an issue. I'm definitely going to make a video about how to make a setup, because that's a really big issue for me. You really need to just put a lot of time and practice into the setup. So for instance, what I'll do is, it's really useful to just change one thing on the whole setup and see how that feels, instead of changing a bunch of things at once, because you can't really tell what that specific change does. And we have a really nice tow here, and we're going to stay behind him and be patient and wait for this next DRS zone on the front straight. Shifting down into 4th gear, and then now we have a nice run here, DRS, and we're going to make a simple move. I believe this was around the outside. Yep, switch to the outside using the curb on the left, and we make a move around the outside, which is pretty nice. And yeah, now we have to catch the 2 front runners, which I don't think I did. Approaching the last lap of the race, and I did catch myself a 2-second time penalty, which was not needed at all. Last lap of the race, braking at the 100-meter board, hitting that yellow sausage curb on the inside, and using the runoff on the outside with these F2 cars. And I do like the way these cars sound. I think these are more realistic sounding than the F1 cars do. I feel like the F1 cars aren't loud enough and they don't sound as aggressive as they do in real life. But again, it is Codemasters. Can't really complain too much about that. Going down this back straight, braking at the 100-meter board, trying to be as smooth as I can. I also realize that the brakes are also more realistic, like you can actually lock the rear end now if you have the brake bias too much towards the rear, which is nice. So you're usually going to be running anywhere from 54 to 57, what I've found so far. We weren't able to catch Mick Schumacher and Tsunoda in P1 and P2, which are basically the championship rivals when you play the career mode, because they do go into F1. And coming across the last corner here, just trying to hit that inside curb is really crucial. Focus on the exit more than the entry, I feel like is super important. And we come across the line and we take a P4 due to the penalty. But there it is. That is the F2 cars in the F1 2021 game. I'm probably going to be doing, I might record one more video if I have a good race with the F2 cars, and then we're going to be moving on to the F1 cars and actually start getting into league racing and really competitive racing. I just want to build myself up, you know, as steady and slowly as I can, and then we'll hop into the faster cars. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.